Foodie hi and welcome. I'm Anna the Keto Foodie. 5 ways to get fat in and up on the keto diet. Stick around, I'll explain. So when I first started keto, it was a couple of weeks of a very big adjustment period full of anxiety and guilt. Whew. And the reason for that was because I had spent years and years on low-fat and fat-free diets. Now, I'd chosen keto for health reasons as well as weight loss. But it was still this really odd adjustment period where I went from low-fat and fat-free to having to include fat and increase my fat intake. Oh, anxiety and guilt. I got over the guilt though, and the anxiety. No problems whatsoever, but it really was an adjustment period. And the main thing, of course, is when you're on keto, you are looking to eat in a day a certain amount of food. Now, 5 to 10% of the calories that you're eating over that day should come from carbohydrates or carbs. 15 to 30% of the total calories that you're eating in a day should come from protein, and 65 to 75% or even more of the total calories that you're eating in a day should come from fat. Again, that's completely different from years of fat-free and low-fat dieting. Now, for me specifically, personally, I like this higher dietary fat for 2 specific reasons, 2 functions. One is that it keeps me satisfied, whereas before I ate, snacked, you get the idea. As a type 2 diabetic myself, that meant my insulin was constantly either going up or coming down and crashing because I would eat not fat, but carbs, a lot of carbs and a lot of protein. So my insulin was constantly going this and bouncing. So when it went up and it crashed, I was hungry. And I was not just hungry, I was hangry. And because carbs shoot up and then come back down really quickly, we burned through them really quickly, I needed my next food. So I was hangry and I was physically sick if I didn't have food again within the next 2 to 3 hours. So with keto, the high dietary fat keeps me satisfied. And because I'm eating more fat, which burns low and slow, rather than constantly going on carbs, which makes me do that, I can go 4 hours feeling fine and not feeling hungry or hangry. In fact, and I'm going to say this, and I never thought I would say this, there have been times where I forget to eat. Okay? If you know me, that never happened. I was constantly eating, constantly thinking of food, constantly needing to eat. So for me to go from that to feeling satisfied, feeling well, not feeling sick because I haven't eaten in the past 2 hours, to the point where sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to eat something. I should eat something. I haven't eaten in the past 6 hours. That is amazing. Plus it saves me money. So that, the fact that it keeps me satisfied is number 1. Number 2, I touched upon the fact that fat burns low and slow, keeps my energy going rather than the crazy roller coaster that is carbs, and to a certain extent protein, because protein is like a nice hill. But fat burns low and slow. So my insulin doesn't keep shooting up every single time I'm eating something because it includes a good amount of dietary fat. Now, that's all that in the back. Let's get to how to put this dietary fat back into your food and how to increase it. 5 ways that worked for me. One is to include those dietary fats back into your food as you're cooking it. So go ahead and use butter, lard, ghee, duck fat, goose fat, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Go ahead and include those back in cooking. Add full fat cheeses. Add double cream or heavy cream into your sauces. Add some nuts. All of those help put the dietary fat into it and help increase it. Now, of course, what you're cooking is important as well. So if you're cooking meats, making sure that you're getting the fattier cuts of meats, as long as you like them. I am not a fan of chicken thighs, although I am learning. I'm not a fan of chicken thighs. I am a fan of chicken wings. So yay, I can have chicken wings now, whereas before I couldn't. So things like the fattier cuts of meat, the fattier fishes and anchovies, salmon, of course, getting your eggs in. All of those are easy enough to cook. Don't cut the fat off now anymore. You don't have to worry about that. You want that in there. And adding fats in as you cook. The second way is to add these fats and full fat dressings and sauces into your salads and your snacks. So if you have a salad, adding full fat dressing or avocado oil or olive oils or even MCT oil, which I'll get to in just a sec, are great ways to get fat onto your food. Of course, mayonnaise, hollandaise sauces, and other full fat dressings are also great ways. Blue cheese dressing, Caesar dressing, great ways to get the fat onto your food. Now, when it comes to those dressings and the mayonnaise and the hollandaise, you can actually kind of trip up if you're not looking closely at the nutritional label. Some of these, and a lot of these actually, have added sugars and things that aren't keto friendly. Mayonnaise, for the most part, is made with oils that you shouldn't be using, either rapeseed oil or sunflower oil. Even when they say, this is a very sneaky trick, even when they say, oh, this mayonnaise is made with olive oil. No. Flip that bottle over and read that nutritional label. If the first two ingredients on that ingredient list are not eggs and olive oil, then they've just only put enough olive oil to meet the minimum threshold to be able to say, oh, it's made with olive oil. But that's not the case. So again, you can make these at home though, and really quickly. There are lots of recipes. Go out and just type keto mayonnaise recipe or keto dressing recipe. Lots of great ideas, and you can make them at home pretty easily. So that is number 2. Number 3, which I touched upon just a little bit ago, is MCT oil. MCT oil is medium chain triglyceride. And what you want to look for when you're buying a bottle, and I don't really like saying, oh, go buy this keto thing, because you don't really need extra keto things. Your food should be just fine. But this one's a bit different. MCT oil, or medium chain triglyceride, is made from coconut, is a version of coconut oil practically. It's what you want to look for is a MCT oil that is almost purely, or as close to pure, in C8 or chain 8. Other numbers don't absorb as quickly or as well into your body and have to break down before they can be absorbed. So C10, C12, C6, no, C8. It might cost a bit more, but it is worth it. And what it does It goes into your body. It is quickly absorbed into your body. It gives your brain a boost. It gives you a boost of energy, and it helps your body naturally increase the ketone production. This is different. This is not exogenous ketones. Exogenous ketones just put ketones in your mouth, which actually, if they're already in your mouth, why does your liver need to make it? Okay, that's a whole other video. But MCT oil is actually quite good at getting your body to produce its own ketones, along with giving your brain a boost and giving you a boost of energy. The other great thing about the C8 is that it is tasteless. So you can add a tablespoon of it, or a teaspoon. You need to work your way up, teaspoon by teaspoon. So first day, 1 teaspoon, second day, 2 teaspoons, third day, 3 teaspoons, fourth day, a tablespoon. And if you stop, you need to start all over again. Okay, because too much MCT oil in one shot will make your belly very, very, very unhappy. So you have to work your way up. But you can include this in salads. You can include this in your bulletproof coffee. And it is also it's fat. It's dietary fat. It's full of dietary fat. That's what it is. Now we move on to number 4, which is that bulletproof coffee. And there are many ways to do it actually. So you choose the format you want. For me, my bulletproof coffee is coffee and high fat extras. Some people put butter and MCT oil. Some people put coconut oil and butter. That was not good for me. My favorite way of doing it is coffee with double cream or heavy cream and MCT oil. That worked fine for me. I don't even put butter, but some people do. And when it comes to butter, get yourself a really good tasting butter if you need to do. But that's usually my breakfast. And because it's coffee and fat, my insulin is not jumping up. I have a low and slow burn, setting me up to continue my day until I actually have something to eat for lunch. Now the last one, number 5, is fat bombs and desserts. I'll be honest, I've never made a fat bomb. Because after a while, I had no problem including fat in my diet. Pork crackling is one of my favorite snacks. Olives, another one of my favorite snacks. I double cream just about everything. Creamed spinach, creamed mushrooms, cream and everything. I do make desserts. So fat bombs and desserts that include things like coconut oil, butter, double cream, eggs. All of those will work. So if you're looking for something sweet or sweet tooth, then by all means, try a fat bomb or try a dessert. In fact, I would encourage you to do more of a dessert type thing to increase your fats rather than fat bombs. Fat bombs for me are too small and they're too easy to eat a whole bunch. But if I'm making a rice pudding, and cauliflower rice pudding, go figure, which is full of double cream, then what I normally do is, already put them, divide them equally into my cups or my bowls, and then I can have one. And for me, that's more filling and more satisfying than a tiny little fat bomb. Sometimes I also get very adventurous. You know that dark chocolate that we can eat on keto? Sometimes I take a square and I melt it into some double cream or heavy cream, and I make myself a very thick, some of my friends call it ganache. I thought you had to put butter in it for it to be ganache, but I make a nice hot chocolate, and especially for the colder months, double cream with melted either cacao powder or a square of very dark chocolate, and it satisfies. So those are the ways that you can add fat into your food and increase your intake. I hope this was very helpful. And if you have any questions, then by all means, ask me down below in the comments section. Let me know where you're watching from. I will be happy to answer any of your questions, or if I've missed anything, let me know. And until next time, I say to you, have a fantastic keto journey, and foodie bye.
If you like this video, please click the like button. If you like what I do, please click the subscribe button and the bell so that you'll be notified when I upload a new video. And if you love what I do, consider becoming a patron and enabling more content like this one. Thanks for watching.